going to be recorded. We'll send out the availability via Slack, so if you don't have access to the Slack channel, just shoot me a message and we can send it to you directly. With that being said, we'll go ahead and get started. Go ahead, Taylor. I know you got my first honorary question.
You recognize this one. What are your thoughts on the match?
You want to start?
Sure. I mean, like, I think it was just a really good match for us. I think everything was coming together the way we wanted it to. Sam Coffey gave us a great speech at the beginning, you know, to play with intensity, but also to smile and have fun. And I think that really showed today. And yeah, everybody was happy.
Yeah, I think first half was a lot more defending than possession based. And so that was definitely a goal of ours going into the second half. And obviously we came out on the front foot. And I don't think that momentum, especially from our fans, didn't stop the whole half. And that's why we got 3 in that second half.
So Kaya, you got your first goal. I mean, you both did, but we'll start. Can you just kind of talk us through what you saw and kind of your feeling in it? You had quite a celebration and then run to the sideline.
Yeah, I mean, like, I saw Sam go through and, like, she's our 6, so I'm like, I have to get in the box for her. I mean, everybody, but, like, still, she made that effort to make that run, so I decided to come back to the, sort of for her to cut it back, and honestly, I just kind of released all my thoughts, released all my hesitations, and just hit it, and, yeah. I was happy. It was just a really great moment, especially just coming from Sam. She's been really supportive of me and like for me to just break out and be myself. So
A banger. A banger of a first goal.
And then you, just cool as a cat with the PK, just like took that deep breath, like approached it, kind of what was going through your mind?
I mean, first of all, you know, my teammates and my coaches put their trust in me to designate me to take that PK. So I know that they had my backs. I went into it confident. Also, like, the fans behind the goal, I knew, like, no matter what, they're the best in the world. So yeah, just taking that deep breath, letting go of everything, and just being confident in myself and doing what I know I can do.
Yeah, and then Kaya, this was your first start at home, or first start, and then being at home. Kind of what was that like to walk out of the tunnel and know you get to start for this team?
honestly, it was just like a huge blessing for me, and I was really grateful. I knew that being able to have this starting spot, I knew that they trusted me, and I knew that they saw something in me to like get the job done. So honestly, I was really happy for that position, and then being able to play, you know, the full match in front of the fans was just unbelievable. It was really fun.
Jaden, you posted on Instagram what football means to little Jaden. So what does this goal, what would little Jaden say to you?
Oh gosh, probably crying right now. I think for a lot of us, like, it's such a dream of ours to play at this level. And not only are we here, but you know, like, we scored our first goals tonight, and that brings so much joy, not only to myself right now, but to my family. My mom and my sister were here today, so that meant extra to me. But yeah, she would just be jumping with joy. But I think, like, all of us today, it showed that, like, we were playing with that passion that we had as little kids.
This is for both of you, really, just not scoring very many goals the first 2 games of the year, but to see the ball go in the net a few times today. How much was it weighing on your minds that, hey, we need to score some goals here, and then just what was kind of the release, just being able to see the ball go in the net a few times?
Well, I think we all knew we were due for a win. In our past few games, we had an issue with coming out slow, and so I think that was our biggest thing for this game, like, come out with the intensity, come out with the fire. And honestly, those games that we come out and we're like the team, those are the games that we win. We saw that in Utah, so I think, like, and then also just like once one or two go in, like, they just start flowing, and then everybody else finds like those opportunities. So yeah, it was just, we were due for one.
I think too, coming off of Seattle, we had 2 days of training, and there was such a response in those trainings, the quality, the energy. We knew we could have given more in that game, and that we could have gotten a different result. And so I think just we switched our minds so quick, and the quality of our last 2 practices really showed in today's game.
You've talked a little bit about the crowd tonight. I wanted to ask about specifically getting roses, your first roses for your first goals, in front of this team, or this dance.
Yeah, I was so excited. I gave a rose to some of the girls in the back line too, because, you know, I think we had a great performance tonight. We let one goal go in, you know, in that first half, but besides that, I think we had a really solid game. But definitely getting that rose is just super excited, especially for me, a defender. I mean, I feel like defenders don't really get roses, so I was like, woo!
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, same. I think it's just really cool. It's really awesome, like, for these roses to be given to us, like, on behalf of the fans and just, like, everyone being there smiling and cheering for you. I think it's just so awesome, and all I can do is smile, too. It's like, yay.
Yeah.
Yay.
And then Kaya, real quick, you also had an assist on Mimi's goal. I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit about your relationship with Mimi and playing with her.
It's actually really funny. Like, she just got here, like, last week, 2 weeks ago, and
Yeah.
I think, like, she's my locker neighbor, so, like, I don't know, we just chat here and there, and honestly, she's really communicative, and I just, like, got this weird feeling, like, this weird connection where I was like, you know what, I know you're gonna be there. It's, like, weird, it's weird, because, like, we hadn't, like, I'd never known her before, and we don't even follow each other on Instagram yet, but, like, it's, like, but it's, like, it's just, like, it's really cool, though, like, when you meet those people, it's, like, I know this is gonna be, like, a great relationship on and off the field, so I think that's just what it is. I knew she was there, I felt her presence in a way.
So I'm guessing that after this game, you're gonna follow her on Instagram. Is that
Yes.
Yeah. Jen, you were talking about how defenders don't usually get roses. Defenders don't usually take PKs. Is that the first PK, or how many PKs have you hit in your career in college?
Yeah, UCLA, I was our PK taker. So I've taken probably like 8 PKs, 10 PKs throughout my college career, but obviously this was my first one here. One of my first weeks here, I told Rob, I was like, yeah, can I practice some PKs? Like, I take PKs, I'm confident in myself. Like, if you trust me, I will go and do the job. So yeah, I definitely just took that over from college and club and all those. But yeah.
So calm. Sober.
And then, can you talk about a little bit about the first and second half adjustments in terms of, right, I think the possession that Gotham had versus kind of how you guys were able to kind of expose their right side?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for us was possession. I think in the first half, times where we would win the ball, was frantic, and then we just give it back to them, and then it was just felt like 20 minutes of us just moving back and forth, and them just playing the ball around us. So I think a big focus on our side, at least, was once we win it, how can we keep it, and kind of make them do the running, because I felt like they did get tired towards that end. What else would you say?
Yeah, I mean, like she said it all. I mean, like,
Yeah.
they had a lot of the possession in the first half, and I think, like, I mean, nobody wants to run around defending, so, like, we just knew going into the second half, like, it just had to be us. It had to be our feet on the ball. It had to be our runs in behind, and we came off on the right foot, and it was great.
Yeah, and locking onto the right side, we were focused on shifting quicker and faster, so releasing our fullback or releasing our wingers so they can get more pressure on the ball, and then keeping them on that side, using the sideline to our advantage, not letting come back to the other side, because that's where we were facing a lot of problems. But yeah, I think a big part of that was just hyping each other up when we win those little battles, and just giving each other that energy and that, like, juice to keep going, because it's tiring, but it worked.
I talked to Raylan yesterday, and one thing she brought up about this team is because you guys are so young, other teams don't necessarily have this, like, in-depth scouting report on you and how you're gonna play. I guess I assume that's something that you guys are thinking about and using to your advantage, but I was wondering if you could go into that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we are young. We do have a lot of new players, and so I think, like, I mean, like, there's a good amount of us that they'd have to pull college film, and you know, like, it's obviously a different game. Like, there's obviously, like, more things that'll be open for you, or less things that'll be open for you in a professional match. So the fact that we're young, but then also we're just, like, we have a lot of depth on this team. Like, I think we've talked about this a few times. Like, we have a lot of players that can come on and do the job, so it's hard to, like, you know, track everybody, I think.
She said it perfectly. Yeah, I think you know, having a young team makes us so much closer too. Like, we all can go hang out, we all can go do stuff. We get each other. Especially a lot of us younger ones coming out of college, like, we're experiencing the same things. So it's easy to lean on each other.
And then kind of, with being kind of younger players, can you talk a little bit about the leadership group here in Portland and kind of how they've helped you through this?
I mean, Sam Coffey's the best.
Yes.
Sam Coffey and Mac, they've made it so easy. I think as captains, for us to feel confident and feel like ourselves at practice when we get chances to go at it on the field in games. But yeah, I think everyone has a really good job of being a leader in their own ways. You know, it's not just two people, but it's the whole team. And whether it's being the most vocal or, you know, through actions, it's just a perfect combination.
I agree. I just also want to add Jessie to that mix too. She's been in my ear, like, in a good way. I promise, in a good way. No, because I love hearing from her. She's given me a lot of confidence these past few weeks. And especially today, before today's match, she is like probably the most supportive person for me. Like, she's been great. She told me, she's like, I give you license to just be yourself, and whoever the outside back is, just take them. And I was like, okay, yeah. And she was just like, yeah, we'll all be rallying behind you. We'll all be like right behind you. So just go for it. Just do it. And I think that's the best thing I can hear as a rookie and as a forward too.
Sorry, one last one. Basically, anytime you touched the ball while you were running, the entire Riveter section lost their minds. Does that kind of feed you energy as you're attacking?
Absolutely, absolutely. I hear them and I'm like, oh my gosh, go faster, go faster, go faster. And honestly, I got caught a few times like running faster than the ball was moving. But yeah, it's so fueling, and it's just so like, it just builds so much like fire and intensity for me, and it's awesome. It's honestly awesome. I love games like that.
All right, well, that wraps up our availability with Kaya Hanks and Jaden Perry. Thank you both for coming in tonight, and congratulations on the goals.
Thank you guys.